Lock up your bikes and feel the heat. It's time for Like a Podcast, aka Podcast Ga Gotoku. I am your host, Argyle, and with me as always is Jordan.
Welcome to our first episode, our first official episode of Like a Podcast.
The inaugural episode! The first official episode.
Our maiden voyage through the streets of Camarocho.
Busted a bottle open on this bad Mamma
Jamma.
We slammed a bottle on the hull of this bad boy, and we're gonna send it out to sea and hopefully not hit anything on the way.
We're gonna hit a couple of icebergs, and it's gonna be fine.
It's fine. They'll fucking shatter to pieces under our powerful hull and bow. So this is the first episode of our Yakuza podcast where we talk about the video games Yakuza. There's so many of them, but we're gonna talk.
There's 6 plus 1 coming out, and then a couple of spin-offs. Sorry, 7 because 0.
Yeah,
we're gonna play them all.
Yeah, we're gonna play
the
all
ones
of
that
them.
are in Japanese only, which we will just be angry about forever. Presumably.
We'll do something about them. We'll figure them out sooner or later.
We'll just do an entire episode where we play all of Ryuga Gotoku Ishin and the other one that I can't remember the name of. Kenzan, and just be like, I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to kind of go over our history with the series?
Yeah, by all means. You start first because you got there first.
Yeah, I'll go first because mine kind of inspired yours from what I'm aware.
It's fine.
So in November 2016, just a great month for everybody. PlayStation Plus on the PlayStation 3. As always, they had free games. And one of the free games was Yakuza 5, which I had never heard of. I had never heard of any of these games or played them or seen them or experienced them in any way. But I downloaded the game because I didn't know what the fuck it was about and I wanted to see. So I played it. I didn't really know what was happening. I didn't know who any of the characters were. I kind of learned how to swing a bicycle at men. And I got good at driving a taxi cab, but I still didn't really know what was going on, and I wasn't able to play it very long because it's not my PlayStation, it's my brother's. So the following year, early 2017, Yakuza 0 comes out, and I decide to buy that because I figure it'd probably be a better place to start. And it was, and I played it, and it was very good. And then I've since played almost all of them, the main ones at least, and a couple of the spin-offs, and it's a precious part of my life that I would not. It's just like a part of my brand online at this point that I.
It's a part of your. I thought you were gonna say it's a part of your brain, which is I think more of a correct way to phrase that.
Yeah, it's a part of my. It is also a part of my brain that I can't separate from at this point.
There's a Kiryu lobe that has lodged itself in my cerebral cortex. So for me, you were playing Yakuza 5 and also talking about it on Pot of Greed, which I was listening to. And I was biking to class one day, and I heard you describe on Pot of Greed a scene or a move wherein the main character rides on a bike and ramps it off of a dude's nuts and face. And I went and watched that, and I said, this is really funny. And then I said, where's a good place? I need to play these games. So I said, where's a good place to start? And then everyone on the internet said Yakuza 0 because that's the one that they made as a place to start. So I played it, and it's now my favorite game of all time, and this is my favorite series of all time. And I think about it constantly and talk about it constantly to the point that I was exiled to having to start a podcast about it.
Yeah, I had to sever ties with all of my family and friends except for Jordan because I can only talk about Yakuza. I've divorced
my family.
Now.
I'm alone except for I sit in a room with a PlayStation and I'm surrounded by all the discs and I'm just sweaty and I just mutter Kiwami means extreme all day long.
Yeah, I'm that picture of the fucking log cabin with just a GameCube playing Super Smash Brothers with a picture of Iwata on the wall, but it's a PlayStation. I'm playing Yakuza
and it's a Nagoshi on the wall. I'm going over Splash Mountain at Disneyland, and my friend, you're holding up a TV, and I'm holding up a PlayStation, and we're both playing Yakuza 0. Okay, can I talk a little bit about...
playing the two-player disco minigame.
Can I talk a little bit about the history of this game before we begin?
Yeah, let's go.
Because I think it's actually quite interesting. So, obviously, the Yakuza series, for anyone who isn't familiar, is published by Sega. First game came out in 2005 for the PlayStation 2, I believe.
Yes.
It was a big success in the West and in Japan. And they went on to make 5 of them. 3 through 5 are on the PlayStation 3. However, because of Yakuza Dead Souls, which was the zombie spin-off that no one liked and was a big failure, Yakuza 5 did not get an official English localization for many years. It took a long time. Yakuza 5 came out in 2012 in Japan, and then it didn't get a worldwide release until 2015, and even still, it only came out digitally.
Yeah.
There was never a physical copy. So a lot of Western fans were like, oh, what the fuck? Where's Yakuza 5? And they never knew for years whether it would come out. So after Yakuza 5 came out, fans were worried that there would never be another English Yakuza game in the series because they never even put out a physical release. And then Sega put out Yakuza 0 in 2017, and it kind of created I would say a renaissance for the series. I think the series is doing better now than it ever has been because everyone in the world, even fans who never played it, went out and they all bought Yakuza 0, and then they all said, damn, this is good. And then they made a bunch of remakes, and now every game in the whole series is released on PlayStation 4. And I think that we have Yakuza 0 to thank for that. You can play every one of these games now on the same console.
I think that's like kind of the big consensus is that 0, I mean, it got a lot more pull. Like it got
me into the series.
Yeah, I saw a lot of hype for it. I mean, maybe 5 got hype too, but like 0 is like, even years from then. I'm trying to say that now, even years after it's released.
Years later, people still love to talk about Yakuza 0, and people are still joining in and playing it. If you listeners have not played Yakuza 0, you can find it anywhere for like $15 to $20.
Yeah,
you'll be able to
it's
play
on
it
Steam.
for
I think it might even be on Xbox now. It's ridiculous.
It's like
you can get it everywhere.
You play it like 60 hours, and you'll have a lot of fun, and you'll love it because it's one of the best games I've ever played. It's a prequel to the series, so that's why it's the best place to start, because you don't technically need to know any characters from the rest of the series. There's a couple of Easter eggs and stuff, but this is just by all means, the best place for the story to begin. Some people will say to play Yakuza Kiwami, which is a remake of the first one. I say no. Play 0. You probably already have.
I say either one is good. I think there are merits to both arguments.
That's very true.
And possibly even playing Yakuza 2 as well.
Yakuza 2 is good as well. Let's start talking about this game. So let's start. The year is 1988, and we're in the setting is Kamurocho, which is a red light district in Tokyo. And our first moment of this series, chronologically, is Kiryu, our wonderful protagonist, our best friend, beating the shit out of a dude.
Yeah, the first shot of the game, like when you press new game, and when you start it up, you are looking through this guy's eyes up at Kiryu.
The last thing you see before you die. Kiryu,
yeah, basically.
Just kidding. So he's just really giving it to him. They're just in this dirty, filthy alleyway somewhere. And then basically Kiryu tells him just like, give me the money. He's being a bit of a rude boy. And he takes the cash, gives him a big old kick to the face. He says the phrase, when you pick a fight in this town, better pick carefully, especially when you're carrying a big wad of cash in your pocket. And then as he leaves, we see a newspaper which is discussing something called the 21st Century Redevelopment Plan. It probably means nothing.
Yeah. And then we get our musical intro.
Oh yeah, that's good. It's cool because it gives a really good job at establishing the setting. We're in bubble economy Tokyo, which I'm sure we'll go into more detail later about. There's a lot of just people at the parties, at the disco. There's people waving tons of money at taxi cabs to try to get their attention. Yeah. And then we get these young ruffians who are like, hey,
not even ruffians, just party goers.
They're just like party boys. Yeah, there's this guy who's like, oh, I'll get you a taxi, lady. You're so sexy.
We should go to a hotel.
Yeah, we should go to a
night.
hotel. Nice. And then Kiryu like bumps into the guy. He bumps into this little punk, this little boy, this little man.
He knocks him over.
He knocks him over.
Right on his ass.
He's a large. Kiryu is, for anyone who hasn't seen Kiryu, he's a large man. He's very large. He's very wide. He's very strong. So this guy gets like knocked the fuck to the ground, and he's like, "Hey, I'm down on your knees, you little shit. You bumped into me." And then he turns around and he's just the scariest man you've ever seen, and he's got blood all over his face. And he also has a Tojo clan Yakuza pin, which tells
Dojima
everyone
family.
Dojima Yakuza pin tells you not to fuck with him because he's part of the criminals. So he basically picked the largest, scariest man to pick on in the whole world, and then they all like bow before him. And
sorry,
like,
bye.
Sorry, oops.
We just get a nice montage of like kind of emphasizing what Kamurocho is like in the 1980s and what kind of Japan at large is like. It's the bubble economy. Everybody's got money. People are partying. They're dancing. The streets are fucking filled with trash, but people are having a good time.
It's a non-stop party in a flaming pile of garbage.
Yeah.
Just who can't relate? So Kiryu goes to it's like late at night. Kiryu goes to meet with the loan shark who hired him to rough up that guy.
It's 10:43 p.m. by the way.
10:43 p.m. It's actually weird because Yakuza 0 is the only game in the series that does these weird. There's like a bunch of levels. There's like cutscenes in the game that are fully rendered, like cool movie cutscenes. Those are great. And then there's the ones that have the text boxes over them and no voice acting. And there's the ones in Yakuza 0
there's ones that have there's ones that have text boxes with voice acting, and they're like kind of mid grade between the ones with no voice acting and the full pre-rendered ones. And Yakuza 0 has a completely unique style of them where there's voice acting and there's text boxes, but it's also in like a sepia tone.
It's like a semi animated.
It's very limited animation.
I like these actually.
Yeah, they're interesting. They're
like, if you had to give me the choice between like a full 3D rendered cutscene and this, I wouldn't prefer it, but I think it's a cool way to tell the story.
Yeah, it's a nice mid ground because we do still get like really expressive like faces and everything from the characters. We just don't get the full range of movement.
It almost feels like a comic book or like a manga or something. That's what I thought that was cool.
Yeah, or like one of those motion comics where they
those are great.
Like, actually animate the comic just a little bit.
So the loan shark's like, you Dojima boys, you work great. Here, take your 10%. And then he gives him a little bonus, and he lets him know that Kiryu is extremely disadvantaged in this world because most people would work for half of the, like 50% of the loan. So he's already telling him that he would be paying him more if he wasn't with the Dojima family. And then
he tries to enlist Kiryu as well.
Yeah, he does. Hey, he's like,
you could get a lot of money if you work for me instead of.
Kiryu's having none of it though. Kiryu has his allegiances to the Dojima family. I wonder why. And he basically, this dude is just like, hey, look around. Everyone's so rich right now. It's all about money. That's the theme of this game already. I'm making sure you know that the whole game in this game is about money. And it's important to talk about money.
Themes.
So then he says, like, the world hardly knows what money is worth anymore. But you'll learn a lot more on the streets than with some fancy degree. Don't go to college, kids. Goodbye. And then so Kiryu is not going to work for him. He drives away. And then
he wonders out loud if being a Yakuza can lead to a fulfilling life.
I wonder if this is a question I will ask myself every single game for 6 games.
Yeah.
And
he calls the loan shark an asshole.
Yeah, he's just like that. What an asshole.
We didn't get the musical intro yet. It's right now.
Oh yeah, here's where the intro
cutscene. He lights his cigarette and it cuts to black, and then we get the musical intro.
Yeah, there's lots of discos and money waving. Yeah, it's great though.
People in skimpy dresses, people waving money at taxes.
It's a party. Everyone's rich. Everyone got rich for like a couple years. So Kiryu goes into some dirty bathroom to wash the blood off his face. He notices that there's blood on his face.
Yeah, some ladies walk by and they're like, ugh. So he notices finally that there's a bunch of fucking blood on his face.
Oops. That's so embarrassing. we get our first shot of the famous Kamurocho Arch, also based on a real-life landmark. We should say Kamurocho is based off of Kabukicho, which is basically it looks exactly the same. It's like direct inspiration. So
yeah, we'll talk more about Kabukicho in a
just wanted to let people know that this arch is real. Yeah. It's just that's something different.
Yeah, then, he gets a message on his pager.
What are you wearing?
724106, which is code for what you up to. And he steps up to the Tenkaichi Street gate.
Yeah, I guess I'm too millennial to have any idea how Kiryu knows what the pager codes are. But
I've written them down in pretty much every case because I think it's hilarious because I don't know what a pager
he's
is.
Just like, 72410 means what you up to, Kiryu?
Yeah, obviously.
So Kiryu is just waiting for Nishiki to show
Chapter
up.
Chapter 1!
What it means! It's
Chapter 1, Bound by Oath.
Bound by Oath. Wonder what that means. As he's waiting for Nishikiyama to show up, he sees some, tough thugs shaking down some dude.
Some nerd.
And then they
do actually call him a nerd. And
they do.
I put that in my notes before they even said it. So
they gave him a hanging atomic wedgie. and for some reason he's really into it.
They hoist him up the flagpole, and they
hoist
shake
him up
all
the
the
flagpole,
money
and they shake all the money out of him, and it falls out on the ground because that happens in this game. However, they're on Dojima turf, which is an extremely irresponsible thing to do because now there's a big angry Yakuza who's going to kick your ass for.
This is I don't want to make too many comparisons to later games, but this is like a really a pretty decent character moment, establishing how different Kiryu is from in later games. Because in later games he would probably intervene just because it's the right thing to do, but here he's doing it because, hey, you're on our turf, bitches, get off. What are you doing here?
Because I played Yakuza 0 before I played all the others, so going back where I know how Kiryu is now, and we won't talk about it immediately, Kiryu is super spicy in this game.
Yeah.
He's so aggressive.
He's hot-blooded.
He's rough around the edges, too. He, swears all the... Well, in the English, he swears all the time, which is not Kiryu's style. This is a completely different man. A boy man. He's younger than both of us, I think, in this game, which always fucks me up.
Yeah, he's 20. He's 20 years old.
20 years old. He's a little boy. He's just a couple years out of high school, and he looks like this and is beating the shit out of people. So this is our little combat tutorial section. So this part, just to give a little touch of gameplay to you. Yakuza is a sort of beat 'em up brawler kind of game. It's pretty simple combos. It's just square to punch, and then you use your finishers or triangle. You can grab with circle, and then that leads to some more moves. And then there's also special finisher moves called heat moves. But
we'll get to those later. We have a tutorial.
Yeah, those come later. Exactly.
So you have a simple rush combo, which is fast and hits light, and then you can end that combo with a finishing move. You can also do grabs, which can transition into throws or attacks
or
that
big
you can
punches.
Use.
Yeah, you can block, you can dodge, you can lock on. It's all the good stuff. It's a simple but very satisfying combat system. It goes largely unchanged for the entire series.
Yeah, but it's except for 7.
Except for 7.
Yeah,
but it's just very crunchy. Especially in 0. 0 is ooh, it feels good. When you punch a dude, the whole screen shakes around. It's awesome. It feels great. Yeah, so the combat is simple, but it's just it feels very good, and it does get pretty hard at times. So, unless you have anything else to say about the tutorial, Kiryu finishes beating the guys up, because of course he does. And then, who's entering this alleyway? It's our good friend, Akira Nishikiyama.
He's wearing a fucking gaudy ass suit.
Oh, I love his suit. He's bright red, and it's got this flowery shirt underneath. He's got nice long hair,
cheetah print. Yeah,
he's so fashionable, and he's kind of Kiryu's more fun-loving, fun-having friend.
Yeah, he's more relaxed, but he's also more about the image of what it's.
Yeah, he takes his image very seriously. So he tells Kiryu, he's like, "Oh, you're picking fights to kill time. Why don't you just go get an adult massage like a grown up?"
He's jangling his car keys around too.
Yeah, he's got a car. He says that tonight they're going all night.
And we get the first one of our freeze frames.
Oh yeah, those happen.
One of the signature things of these series, like if you played it, like every time a major character is introduced, the screen will freeze and it'll go like black and white, and then it'll tell you who this character is and
it says
like,
their
what
name
their rank
and
is.
then their like rank and then the family they're in, and also the like clan. So like
right now we get Akira Nishikiyama of the Dojima family.
Yeah. Does it not say he's in a Tojo clan subsidiary?
It does not.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So they're gonna go party it up tonight, and as they're leaving, the like nerd, the funny nerdy guy, is just like, "Oh, thank you so much," and then Kiryu just kind of gives him a look.
Yeah, they both turn around like, "What?"
Yeah, what?
Because again, he
didn't
he didn't do this to save the nerd.
They were just shaking down on Dojima turf.
Yeah, it's great.
So now we're just kind of walking around the city with Nishiki.
This isn't a cutscene, but you do have to hold a button.
Yeah, you gotta kind of hold the button,
around.
which is very hard to take notes, hold the button, and walk. So basically, what Nishiki says is that, you've got money, you gotta spend it, and you gotta spend money to make money, because people are gonna care about, what you look like, what you wear, what kind of car you drive, everything.
Yeah.
Everything matters, so he specifically tells Kiryu to sport a suit that runs $500,000.
Yeah.
And this is the first time we hear about Kazama, who is, they say something about, like, oh, what about Kazama? You'll learn some tricks from Kazama when he gets out of jail. And then, so that's interesting. Wonder who that is. We'll hear more about him later.
Yeah, Nishiki, again, he's all about the image. He wears a bright suit. He has a nice car. He says that Kiryu, he's kind of looking the part of a Yakuza, like he's got the suit, he looks rough and tumble, he can do fights, but he's not really, like, he doesn't have the flash that, like, Yakuza are expected to have these days.
He says, get yourself a goofy gray suit and wear it every year for the rest of your life.
Wear it every time you're in Tokyo forever.
Never take it off. Take the jacket off sometimes. Kiryu says, like, oh, fashion isn't my thing, Kazama, he doesn't wear anything fancy.
Yeah,
and Nishiki
Kazama-san doesn't wear anything flashy, but
he's in charge. He gets to choose what he wears because he's got the power to just wear sweatpants when he goes into work.
Yeah, I think they almost literally say that, like he can wear
Kazama's
sweatpants
out here. He wears juicy sweatpants whenever he goes to the Dojima office.
Oh yeah, like
that's funny because every time we see,
Kazuma's got that wagon, dude.
Every time Kazuma's thick. Every time we see Kazama, he's looking pretty good. So I don't know what in the world.
Your Oyabun's fucking juicy, dude.
Fucking damn, dude, you could bounce a quarter off of Kazama's ass. So
yeah, but our point is the street level thugs, they're expected to actually like look the part.
Yeah.
Whereas but Kiryu doesn't get this.
Yeah, Kiryu doesn't get that. He doesn't. He's not a fashion-oriented guy. And then Kiryu's like, "Is that why you bought your wheels and that fancy, expensive lighter that I stole from you?" And then Nishiki says, "Yeah, you gotta stop being stingy. You gotta play the rich guy. You just gotta make everyone pay attention.
You gotta live big. You gotta always you can't be satisfied with what you get. Like he says, and I quote." They tell you it's a College Bay buffet, and you get there, and it's hag salad.
Oh my god!
You gotta want more. You gotta spend money to do it.
So they're gonna cut through Pink Street. By the way, when you play these games, because Kamurocho, for anyone who doesn't, it's like the setting of it appears in every game, and when you play it for like a while, you just learn all the streets. So like it matters what streets. Places are. So like they are going to cut through this sort of seedy like alleyway of shops to get to a nice bar on Pink Street.
The Kamuro shopping district.
The Kamuro shopping district. It's kind of run down. It's kind of tightly packed stores. And as they're walking through, there's two drunk dudes having a go at each other. Once again, spicy Kiryu showing off just how different of a person he is. He just says, like, leave it to me. I'm going to sober them up with my fists.
Yeah.
Just, out of nowhere, he's just
that.
like, I'm going to beat up these two drunk men for no reason.
Yeah, because they're in my way.
They're in my way. So this is where we learn about the game's iconic heat moves.
Heat actions, where you build up your meter, and then you press triangle when you get a little indicator, and then Kiryu does something insane. He just does something violent, horrible. You can, and then they're always called, like, essence of blank. For example, you can, in this fight, use essence of eye salting, where he pours salt in their eyes. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does some psychological damage, possibly.
There's some of it does psychological damage to me when I do it.
Even those with glasses aren't protected. It says that in the description for the
No one's safe from the eye salt. You can, slam their heads against walls, put a trash can through their face,
stomp
on
their faces.
Oh my god!
In this
horrible.
particular one, you cannot ramp a bicycle off of a man's nuts.
That's only in Yakuza 5.
That's a 5 exclusive, unfortunately.
That's the only reason that anyone's out here buying 5.
There's probably also like some pliers laying around in this alleyway.
Oof.
That's
Don't
always
even
a
talk
good
about
one.
the fly. Don't talk about the flyers.
What about the stove?
Oh,
like
stove is good.
Stove is good. Yeah, so you build up your heat by, like, punching dudes, or there are alternative ways of doing it. Yeah. And then once you get past a certain threshold, you can, under certain contexts, unleash a heat action, which does a lot of damage. You know, it's a good way of finishing off goons.
Kiryu takes, no trouble beating the shit out of these guys. It worked. They're sobered up. They're not drunk anymore.
They're sobered up, and now they're like, what the hell happened?
We were fighting about idols. What? And then the one guy's like, I'll walk you to the train, old man. It's fine. We're friends again. And then
there's not enough kids these days who are considerate like you.
Yeah. And then a mysterious old man. Hey boy! We're gonna say that so many times in this series on Yakuza 0, and I'm sorry. Hey boy! He's like this dude in a cheap suit and a bowler hat with a scarf.
He's got elbow patches.
Yeah, he's like dressed like Chester J. Lampwick from The Simpsons. And his name is Aging Foreigner. And he says, like, what a waste. You punch like a 2-ton gorilla and you go around wasting it on drunk people? That's like taking a swig out of a vintage bottle and throwing the rest out. So this old man has some advice for Kiryu, and it's to... Ready? It's to invest in yourself. A lot of people out here... Nishiki, he's spending money on expensive cars and fancy suits. But what if you just put the money within your own... What if you just ate the money?
And you might be thinking, as Kiryu does, do you mean like a gym membership? Like working out? And
No,
investing
the way
in
you
yourself.
level up in Yakuza 0 is you just spend the money on your body. You just buy it.
And you get better.
You don't eat the money, but you do eat the money.
The money disappears and you get new skills, and
the money it flies out of your wallet and it goes into your brain, and when it goes in your brain you get stronger. Don't worry about it. It would be really funny if Kiryu asked more questions and was just like, "No, I don't get it. Please explain." But no, he just eats the money for fuel, and he does learn how to grab 50% better. So that's good. Do you have anything else to say before Kiryu and Nishiki go to the bar? Or as they're on their way to the bar?
They talk about how the bubble economy a little bit. Like, it's drawing a lot of people towards Kamurocho from all over the place, just like, because you can make it big in Kamurocho. Two
hostesses / college girls walk up to Nishikiyama.
Madoka-chan and Yui-chan.
These are extremely important series favorites. Just kidding. Yui's like, I've been paging you all night. You gotta come by the club. And then Nishiki's just like, here, girls, take 20,000 yen each. And then they're like, thanks, bye. And Kiryu's just like, damn, what a grift. He's like, I'll take 2 bottles of your gamer girl bathwater.
Well, and Nishiki says, well, you might think they just shook me down for money, but the thing is, whenever you take the higher ups to the club, they're so like business-like that the girls hate them, But if you get in good with the girls and you bring them, the pretty girls over to when the bosses are there, you'll get in good with them and they'll like you, and then you'll get more promotions and shit.
Yeah, Nishiki's like, it's funny, Nishiki's the thinking man's creep. He's really thinking about the way he gives the girls the money. So once again, he expresses that he's just like, you gotta spend money, you gotta claw your way up the ladder using any means necessary. That's my character. So I love this because he says, like, tonight, Kiryu, once again, we're going nonstop. And then it cuts to the bar they're in, and it's just like dead quiet. And they're just sitting around drinking their whiskey or whatever.
Yeah, they're going hard.
It's like, are you feeling it, Mr. Krabs? And they're just sitting at the laundromat. So Nishiki, this whole chapter is just Kiryu being like, Nishiki, why do you do this? Why do you have a personal bottle? And then Nishiki's like, well, it's cooler to have your own bottle at the bar than sitting around ordering beers because I'm a big important man with an image to uphold.
Yeah, Nishiki's been to this bar twice, but he gets his own bottle.
Yeah, he bought his own bottle just so he can look cool. And then we find out that because Kiryu and Nishiki are talking about it, that Kiryu entered the Yakuza life because he was chasing after Kazama. I want to say one thing real quick, which is that Kiryu's full name is Kiryu Kazuma. Kazuma is his first name with the U, and then Kazama, Shintaro Kazama, is and I feel like it's best if we just explain this right now.
Yeah,
because
we'll get
when
this
I
out
played
of the way.
This is something that is not a good starting point for the series, is who Kazama is.
Yeah,
so
that did befuddle me for a long time.
Kiryu and Nishiki used to be orphans. Well, I mean, I guess they were always orphans, and they lived in an orphanage called Sunflower Orphanage with another person that we'll meet later. And then the person running the orphanage was a Yakuza named Shintaro Kazama. So they grew up looking up to this guy who they thought was so generous and kind. And when they grew up, they wanted to join the Yakuza to sort of pay him back and be serve under him and learn from him.
Yeah, as Kiryu says, you and I were just a couple of orphans and he took us in. I'd do anything to repay him, but all I can give is my life.
What I was trying to say is that it's really confusing because when I played this, I forgot that Kazuma is his first name and not his last name, so I thought that Kiryu was literally Kazuma's son and his name was Kiryu Kazuma.
Yeah,
but
it's kind of confusing. But okay, so we're gonna establish this right now. We insist consistent terminology. We're going to refer to Kazuma Kiryu as Kiryu and Shintaro Kazama as Kazama.
So they do have in the English translation of Yakuza 1, they called him Shintaro Fuma because of the fact that they knew that it would really confuse the Western audience.
Yeah,
and it's one of the only things that I'm like, yeah, that's actually a pretty reasonable thing to do. They should have named him something a little different, but it's probably not as confusing when you're Japanese.
Possibly.
It's Nishiki then is like, well, if we're so close to Kazuma, then why did he put us in the Dojima family and not his own family? Kiryu's like, whatever. Now,
and at this point, Nishiki's been talking about how Kiryu needs to put on the flash for everyone, but he kind of at this point acquiesces and says Kiryu pulls his weight, that's just as valid a way of working his way up the ranks as mine.
Kiryu's just gonna make it by being very strong.
Yeah, by being strong and doing what he needs to do.
By just doing his own thing. But
now it's time for karaoke.
And now it's time for karaoke. This is the sometimes good, sometimes very bad rhythm game that all these games have except for one of them.
Introduced in Yakuza 3, so 1 and 2.
Introduced in Yakuza. Oh yeah, I guess that's true. So you can pick 2 songs. I think we
Judgment Shinpan and Bakamitai.
Judgment Shinpan rules. It's this 80s power ballad.
Yeah.
Where they talk about breaking the law.
Breaking the world.
When you play the mini game, it starts with them goofily singing around in the bar, just clapping and whatever, and then it cuts to this over the top music video where Kiryu and Nishiki are wearing leather jackets and shredding guitars. It rules.
Yeah.
I love it. You want to tell us about
Kashiwagi's playing the
Kashiwagi's there?
Yeah, he's playing
Holy
the keyboard.
Shit, I never noticed that. You want to tell us about Bakamitai, which is kind of a meme at this point?
I picked Bakamitai. Yeah, Dame Dane. It's a song about, I was a fool.
It's about failing in love and regretting your behavior and your relationship and saying what an idiot I was.
Yeah, and every time you play the song, whatever game you're playing on, they're always reminiscing and looking at a photograph on the bar in the music video, and depending on what game you're playing, it'll be a different photograph. In this one, it's Kazama, it's Nishiki and Kiryu at Sunflower Orphanage.
Oh, you see like Babby, yeah. Kiryu and Nishiki.
Yeah, I also want to say
small.
that I got 100% when I played this for the show.
I would have gotten 100%, but then my cat jumped up on me and just really ruined my day.
Which, getting 100% in this particular karaoke minigame, the first version of it, is not very easy, because the thing is, as it goes through the bars of the song, the
scroll speed changes.
Yeah, it changes depending.
Which is you feel like if you were making a rhythm game and there was one thing that you just would, it's so obvious that you don't even need to say it. It's don't change the fucking scrolling speed, Sega.
Buck-ass wild, and it took them 10 years to figure out the technology to not do that.
They didn't fix it until Kiwami 2.
Until 6.
Oh, I guess 6, yeah. So, they're done. Kiryu's taking off his leather jacket, and Nishiki's
also, I do want to say that when you're singing Judgment, Nishiki will sing along.
Yeah, it's cute.
He does back up.
Yeah. So Nishiki's like, damn, I didn't know you took it so seriously. Thanks for including me. And then Kiryu says, I'm just trying to humor you. Don't worry. I'm not. It's toxic masculinity. I don't actually like
you
this.
Like karaoke, don't you, Kiryu?
No.
You've been sneaking out behind my back to practice.
After work, he does screamo to sort of release the tension of the day. Kiryu tells him to quit busting my balls. And then Nishiki says, all right, we're taking this party. It's going all night. It's morning time. Let's go to the ramen shop.
Kiryu's not hungry because he already
he's not hungry, but he's going to go to the ramen shop anyway. We get a little more street chat. Nishiki says that Kiryu has the taste of an old man, and that but even though he's so in touch with the times, he doesn't understand the male idol scene. He says I like the girl idols, but I just don't get it with the guys. And then he says he says
you're not into boys, Nishiki. I get it. It's fine.
Yeah. It's fine. I mean, I guess if you like the music, but he talks about oh, I'll get you into it one day, Kiryu. Before long, we'll be at the concert screaming the lyrics, fan art, please. Please, someone draw this. I want to see that. We go to the ramen shop.
Oh man,
yeah.
Kiryu and Nishiki
at
one of Haruko's concert.
Oh hell yeah! Or just anyone. What if they went to see Hatsune Miku live, and they had the glow sticks and they're loving it? So they're at the ramen store. They both have. Kiryu has a giant bowl of ramen, despite the fact that he said he's not hungry.
No, he specifically says, Nishiki, why the fuck did you order me an extra large bowl of ramen, you asshole? I told you I'm not hungry.
If you eat the rainy day beef bowl challenge, you gain 10 guts points. It's wrong game, Kiryu. So then we find out on the news that at 11 p.m. a young man was found dead. Oops. It's that guy Kiryu beat up. Uh-oh. Oh, no. That's not good.
The victim was a Tokyo resident, Taichi Kurihara-san, age 32.
And they're
that doesn't matter, but I'm going to say it anyways.
They're oh, we're going to start questioning people to determine who killed this man. And then Nishiki's did you fucking kill a guy, Kiryu?
Kiryu, did you fucking kill someone?
Did you murder a man with your bare fists? And then he's you said you roughed him up pretty badly. Did you kill him? And Kiryu's he has this moment where he's I mean, I didn't, but did I?
Yeah, and then no sooner is the news broadcast done than he gets a page on his beeper. It starts with a 49, which means it's urgent. It's from Dojima HQ, and they're calling him in to the office.
He's getting sent to the principal's office.
Yeah.
He's in big trouble. So Kiryu's well, I gotta go. I've just painted a giant target on Kazama's back because we're his boys, and I just killed the guy, apparently. Oh, by the way, Kazama's in prison right now. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, Kazama is in prison. We'll find out why.
Yeah. So, Kiryu's just all right, this was my fault, so I guess I gotta go confess to this and face the music. And Nishiki says, all right, but before you go, don't be careful around the 3 lieutenants. There's a rumor that Kuze tipped off the cops to Kazama's illegal gambling hall. It always moved around, so no one ever could find it, but somehow they found it. So someone named Kuze is a rat, I guess.
Yeah, he loves fucking to tip snitch.
He's a snitch. We fucking hate Kuze. I'm just kidding. I love Kuze.
But it's fine because Kazama will be back like by the time the new year rolls around. He'll be back in a month.
Yeah. We're at the Dojima HQ. Kuze wanted to talk to him immediately, and we get to meet the 3 Dojima lieutenants.
The 3 lieutenants. Daisaku Kuze, lieutenant of the Dojima family and patriarch of the Kino clan. Keiji Shibusawa, lieutenant of the Dojima family and patriarch of the Shibusawa family. And Hiroki Awano, lieutenant of the Dojima family and patriarch of the Taihei Association.
So we get sort of their personalities in a nutshell here. So like Kuze, he's very serious.
He's kind of like your Yakuza's Yakuza. Like he's
tough. He's like grizzled and chiseled, and he's just
very
old,
very pockmarked face.
Yeah, he's a rough looking dude. And then Shibusawa is kind of the youngster, I guess. He's kind of I think he's
got
the
like
youngest.
gray hair. He's not that young.
Was he youngest of the 3 though? I thought
he might be, but like,
well, he's like sort of less. He's I guess he's the most serious of the 3 besides like.
Yeah, he's like the by the books business type.
Yeah, that's the way to describe it.
He's not really like, he doesn't look like he'd like be the fighting type.
No, he's got like glasses, he's besuited, he's kind of well dressed. And then Awano is like party boy.
Yeah, he's like, the party boy. He's about the flashy lifestyle. He talks about how like he's missing a round of golf for this.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my god, Awano. I love Awano. I think Awano's my favorite.
His suit isn't just purple. Like it's paisley. Like it's a paisley pattern.
Oh, is that it?
It's so fucking gaudy. Yeah.
It's like if you saw this person, he looks like he's in like show choir or some shit.
Okay.
so he had to miss show choir rehearsal to come to speak with Kiryu. Kuze is like, the president of Toko Credit called and he wants that human life back. Kiryu, you murdered him. And where did you get that gun that you shot him with? And Kiryu's like, huh? Wait, what? I don't have a gun. So they're just like bickering about, Kuze, Awano, and Shibusawa are all like talking about what to do with him. The fact that Kiryu...
They kind of want him to just take responsibility and turn himself into the cops.
And the reasoning is they're like, man, killing a guy was bad enough, but why'd you have to kill him there? That's what Awano says. It's like the biggest problem is where you killed him, not who you killed, because you dropped the body somewhere very important.
And they kind of accuse him of doing this on Kazuma's part.
Yeah, Kazama like pulled the strings to tell him to kill this guy there. And once again, they mention the gun. That Kiryu is like, I don't have a gun. I didn't shoot anyone. We saw it in the cutscene. And then Awano's like, okay, are you really still playing dumb? The body had a bullet in the brain. The police haven't made this public yet, so no one knows that the gun was involved.
Yeah, but who would frame just like a fucking
just some
nobody?
Some random thug. That makes no sense. So Shibusawa's like, oh, well, perhaps it's a setup. Once again, he's sort of the level-headed one of the 3.
And Kiryu says that the loan shark told him to do it.
Yeah, he told him to do it. He didn't, and he told him to do it there specifically. He was like, this is this little alleyway off the shopping mart. No one's gonna see you there. It's nice and quiet. Just beat the shit out of him there. And he called him there to get the cash. Shibusawa's like, well, I got a couple of questions for the loan shark, and then Awano's like, yeah, it doesn't matter though. Kiryu has greatly put our enterprise in danger with what he just did. And then Kuze is just like, all right, I'm gonna talk to him alone. And so the Shibusawa and Awano leave. Kuze pulls out a cigarette, which Kiryu lights, and then he says, the look on your face says you're totally lost. And he explains, so Kiryu beat up this guy in this random empty lot, which for the rest of the game we will refer to as the empty lot, capitalized. Yes. I think they even capitalize it when he's like says it in this cutscene.
Yeah, they do.
So this is something that the lower level dudes don't know about. But Chairman Dojima of the Dojima family, who they all work for, gave them direct orders to obtain this lot at any cost, because in that whole pleasure district, those densely packed shops, it's the only piece of property that they can't get. And there's something that Dojima wants to do with that one spot. But now, it's now a murder scene, so they can't really make a move on the land right now because of the fact that someone was murdered there. And Kiryu is like, well, what does that have to do with Kazama? And Kuze explains that whoever gets that land gets Kazama's spot as captain. So it's a huge important deal, and that's why they think Kazama was like, we'll kill someone there, that way I'm buying me some time.
Yeah, but Kuze does say that he believes that Kiryu has no clue about any of this, just by the look on his face. Even if he isn't behind it, with a kid that he brought into the Yakuza getting pinched for murder, like, he'd still... His seat as captain would still be on the line.
Yeah, he says there's like protocols for this because it's Kiryu's his responsibility, and Kiryu's like, well, Kazuma didn't do anything, and I didn't kill anyone, and Kuze's like, well, the cops don't give a shit, and they're not going to hear you out because you're just some criminal. So I want you to turn yourself in, and I also want you to chop that little pinky finger off. Right now.
Or by the end of the day.
Or by the end of the day. That's right. So Kiryu's like, well, that fucking sucks. Great. What a day this has been. And he's now going to go have a little chat with the president, that loan shark from earlier.
Yes. When he gets back to Kamurocho, he's walking down the street, and hey boy, the old drunk foreigner walks up, and he's got a friend with him named Kamoji.
They're fighting a loan shark problem of their own.
Yeah, two thugs walk up out of a nearby alleyway, and they're looking to collect on a 1,000,000 yen loan from these two dudes.
Yeah.
And the whole time, the white guy, the honky, is calling Kiryu like his student, my pupil.
Yeah, he's like my apprentice. And Kiryu's like, what? What the fuck?
And then they make a bet. If the loan sharks, like, muscle man can beat them, all three of them in a fight, 1-on-1, then they'll pay up twice the loan. But if they win, they don't have to pay anything back.
This big guy is like, I can fuck him up. I got this.
Yeah. And the friend, Kamoji, volunteers to go first, and the old man tells Kiryu to watch very closely. Watch his moves. And
watch him whip. Watch him nay-nay.
Yeah.
And boy, does he.
Oh, he whips and he nay-nays.
He's like bobbing and weaving and just getting all over the place. I don't even think he throws a punch. I can't remember.
I think he throws a couple. Not very hard, but yeah.
Yeah,
and then Kiryu says, "That's rad!" And he learns new fighting style.
Oh, hi, Susie.
Hi, Susie.
Kind of having a party over here.
Hey, Susie.
So yes, Kiryu has observed a new fighting style, and he now learns it because this game has 3 fighting styles to choose from for Kiryu, and we'll learn the next one a little later. In the next chapter. So Kiryu has 2 main styles. He has Brawler, which is kind of it's like sort of a mid-range punching, kicking, and it's kind of slow-ish. And then when you get hit, you can do counter attacks where you like charge up and punch. And then Kiryu has just learned Rush style, which is it's fast. He punches fast but lightly, and you can dodge up to 3 times. And then if you guard, you actually like bob and weave, which makes you just completely invulnerable for a second.
Yeah.
And if you punch fast enough, you stun them. So that's pretty cool. I like Rush style a lot.
If you punch a man 10 times, you'll stun him. And anybody,
that's true for real life as well. If you punch a man 10 times, they're gonna be stunned.
Yeah. And then any attack while they're stunned will knock them down.
It's good. So Kiryu takes on the loan shark dude, and he obviously wins because he's never lost a fight in his life.
And it turns out these 2 guys work at Toko Credit.
They work for the same loan shark that Kiryu's got to go chat with, quotes.
Yeah, and they say that the president is in his office on Taihei Boulevard East.
Yeah. They leave, and then Kiryu and Bacchus... Oops! Kiryu...
We kind of learn his name at some point. At some point, his text boxes start saying Bacchus, and I don't know.
We're just gonna call him Bacchus because that's his name.
That's his name.
Baka starts telling Kiryu about like, I wish you just trained under me and get into pro fighting. You'd be a world champ, kiddo. Yeah. And Kiryu's just like, I got other dreams. I'm a Yakuza, whatever. And
and he's my friend Kamoji here. He's a fisting artist. He works in the Shichifuku parking lot. And
Kiryu's like, excuse me?
He's a punch-out artist. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, as a punch-out artist. Kiryu says, is that an S&M thing? And he says, no, it's just, Kamoji's just like, no, I challenge people to punch me, and I'll give them X amount of money if they hit me. It's been a business in the family for generations, and it will always, my children and my children's children will always be in that parking lot.
The Shichifuku parking lot has existed for thousands of years.
The thousands of years, my ancestors have been getting into fights where people try and they call me Mr. Try and Hit Me. That's what they call me.
This is a like, yeah, we're making sideways references, but this is like a retro.
This is a
retroactive like
reference, I guess.
Reference to a series tradition of like side quests characters that you can meet in that same parking lot called Mr. Try and Hit Me.
There's a different one in every game.
But now he's stepped up and you learn a fighting style.
Kiryu is trained under Mr. Try and Hit Me.
Yeah.
That's why you can never hit him.
Yeah, that's why Kiryu can always hit Mr. Try and Hit Me, is because he trained with one of the old masters.
So we finally get like free reign of the city for the first time, but I went straight to Toko credit. I don't know about you, because I was like, we'll have plenty of other time to walk around.
I didn't really do any side content in this chapter.
So we go to Taihei Boulevard, we go to Toko credit, and this is kind of our first little mini dungeon where it's just like an extended combat encounter. There's some like thugs waiting to crack a few skulls inside, and Kiryu says, he says once again, this is spicy Kiryu in this game, he says, clear a path, you punk ass trash. Good old Kiryu. Love it. So he clears a path with their bodies, and then he bursts in, and the president, the loan shark dude from earlier, he's there, he has a gun. He's just like, I can't believe you made it past all 6 of my men.
Yeah.
Kiryu's like, don't worry, there's more where that came from. So he says, I just want to talk about the setup. And Toko Credit Man says, I don't know shit. I don't know anything. Someone told me to do this.
Yeah, he says he was told to do this.
And then... And then Kuze's here for no particular reason. I'm sure it means nothing.
I'm sure this doesn't mean anything.
No, I'm sure that Kuze didn't do the setup. He's just like, hey, I told you to turn yourself in. This is a direct line. He says, and instead you're over here doing dumb shit. And then he this is sort of a reoccurring Kuze moment. He punches Kiryu in the stomach, but and it hurts obviously because he got punched in the stomach. But it's not a Kiryu punch. It's like a oof, ow,
oof, owie.
Yeah, ow, and he just gets right back up. And he's like, damn. Back in the day, I used to really be able to throw a punch. So they're gonna chat a little more. Toko Credit Man leaves. He's just like, okay, there's no time for bullshit. It's time for a no bullshit talk. I know about the fact that you came from Kazama's orphanage and how Kiryu and Nishiki are orphanages. They're orphanages. No, they are orphans themselves. Kiryu is an orphanage, but that'll come later. Kuze says hey, it's rare for a Yakuza to come from a normal family, but Kazama is a cruel son of a bitch. He takes these kids in, and then he twists them and makes them owe him for life, and he kind of uses them like a human shield. So here's the
Which
deal,
he kind of has a
Kiryu.
point.
He kind of does. We'll learn some stuff about Kazama later. So Kiryu's
but he's also he's also a piece of shit himself because he
is a criminal, and he runs this orphanage presumably as a criminal venture, but I guess he's nice, so that makes it better. So Kuze wants Kiryu to spy on Kazama from prison, I guess. I don't really understand how that works, because Kuze wants to be in charge of the Dojima family, and he wants that spot. And he offers him, if Kiryu can get Kuze the information about who owns the mysterious vacant lot, he'll ensure Kiryu's future, and he'll give him a place in the family. So that's yeah. But obviously, like, oh, we also learned right now. Yeah,
go ahead.
I was gonna say we learned that the Tojo clan, which is the big like umbrella clan that all of these families under, like the Dojima, the Kazama, etc. That's 25,000 people right now, and the Dojima's like a big player in the clan.
Yeah.
So whoever's in charge of Dojima he's got a lot of weight to throw around, basically.
Yeah. Kiryu turns him down though, and he's ready to face the consequences.
Yeah.
Of that.
He says, I give zero shits about what you have to say, and Kuze's like, you made a powerful enemy.
Yeah, he walks out, he gets a page from a number he doesn't recognize, but he just assumes it's Nishiki, and he goes to find a phone, and it is Nishiki. It
was Nishiki. It was because the page said, like, what are you up to, haha? What if two boys kissed, haha?
Winky face.
And, winky face. So Nishiki is at the Kazama office, and he's talking to Kashiwagi, who has something to say.
Kashiwagi is the captain of the Kazama family.
So Kiryu is at the office. Kashiwagi and Nishiki are eating some delicious noodles.
Kashiwagi is very loudly slurping noodles.
Maybe that gigantic scar on his face has somehow impacted his suck power. He can't suck like he used to.
Oh man, he can suck. I don't know.
He can suck with the best of them, and the rest of them.
He says, glad you're away."
It's really funny that not to reference the other games too much, that I think Kashiwagi looks older in this game than he looks in some of the others.
Yeah, because
he
he's got the
aged
short hair.
Down. He had a glow up in between Yakuza 1 or 0 and Yakuza 1 even.
Yeah, he looks a lot younger with long hair.
That's true. Yeah, he's got short hair in this game, and his most notable distinguishing feature is his giant scar on the side of his face.
I don't think we ever learn how he got that, but
No, you want to know how are you saying that you want to know how he got that scar?
Yeah, I kind of do.
So Kashiwagi's already been filled in on the details, and he's like, I have an idea of what happened. Kuze did this, and you've been framed. And Nishiki's pissed because Nishiki's like, well, that's good that you didn't do it. But also, that literally means nothing because
Nishiki
once again,
really showing like his face in Kiryu where he's like, "Oh, relieved to hear you didn't kill anybody.
I'm so glad you didn't kill anyone." So Kiryu says like, they start talking about the empty lot, and we really get a full picture on what this empty capital lot means for the Yakuza. So. Would you like to explain it, or would you like me to explain it?
So
sure,
the empty lot is part of this big chunk of land that the Dojima family has been buying up. It is the only part that they can't get their hands on, and the reason they want to buy it up is because it's going to be redeveloped as part of the Kamurocho 21st Century Redevelopment Plan that we saw in that newspaper at the beginning. But the thing is, the owner of the empty lot has gone missing. That's why they can't buy it up. So the family, for just this tiny chunk of land with nothing on it, they're willing to pay upwards of 1 billion yen.
Yeah. Which is nothing for the Dojima. Like, they have that much money.
They've already spent like 10 billion buying up the surrounding buildings, but if they don't get the empty lot, the whole deal falls apart.
Yeah,
they won't be able to profit
build
off of
shit
this.
on this land because there's one like 10 foot by 10 foot square that no one owns, or that someone owns, that they can't buy, and that's why it's the most important thing. And now Kiryu has put a bunch of police attention on it, so now it's just this whole bad situation.
Yeah, and Kazama knows something about it, but Kashiwagi doesn't know. Nobody knows what it is. Yeah.
So Kashiwagi's like, this is a really bad situation. Kuzi's gonna drive you out of the family, and once a Yakuza, you know what happens once a Yakuza gets cut loose. There's a lot of homeless people who just straight up kill themselves because they're former Yakuza. That have no family and they have no job and they'd have no money. That sucks.
Yeah, if they go about this the wrong way, since Kuze outranks any of them, like, this could lead to a lot of trouble. This could lead to a lot of trouble, and Kazama could end up getting driven out of the family.
Nishiki's like I like Nishiki plays a lot of roles in these games. Because like in the first scene he's kind of the hot shot, like he knows everything, and in this next scene he's kind of like the bright-eyed boy who knows nothing about anything. So he's like, we gotta prove his innocence. We gotta show the cops that the real killer was working for Kuze. And then Kashiwagi's just like, you can't do that, man. That's not happening. So Kiryu says, I'm innocent. The lot can wait. What I need to do is defend my dad, Kazama. Yeah. He does the thing he says in every game where he says, like, a man has to take responsibility for his actions by himself. I'm going to the Dojima family, and then I'm going to find the killer by myself.
Yeah.
And then Nishiki's like, you're going to fucking die. They're going to kill you.
Kiryu, he's going to terminate his oath and leave the family. And then
Kiryu.
Put pressure on Kuze as a civilian somehow to, like, out the real killer.
So, and he's also going to go straight to Dojima, who's in charge of the entire family, instead of, like, talking to someone else. Kashiwagi hates this and has, like, just gives him a big boy punch. This is no Kuze punch.
He punches Kiryu straight into the sandpaper shelf.
Yeah, he destroys Kiryu. And Kiryu literally doesn't care. He just gets up and he's just like, hey, I gotta go. Kashiwagi and Nishiki are both like, don't do this. And Kiryu says, like, I just gotta fall. I gotta help Kazama.
Even if Kazama-san himself tried to stop me, I'd go.
Yeah. Kashiwagi says, you little shit, I'm older than you. Yeah.
Kiryu just thanks Kashiwagi and walks out.
Yeah. And then Nishiki offers to drive him to the Dojima family.
Well, Kiryu tells Nishiki to drive him to the Dojima.
Oh yeah, he says, drive me to the Dojima family right now. So we get a little car time.
7:38 p.m. They're driving down the highway.
We say the time because it says it in the cutscene, by the way.
Yeah.
They have Kiryu's kind of sitting there looking out the window, and he flashes back to when he was like a teenage punk, and Kazama had just beat him and Nishiki up because they wanted to join the Yakuza, and Kazama wanted to keep him out of it. Did you like, by the way, Kiryu's voice actor doing high-pitched Kiryu voice?
Yeah, I was really wondering what they did for this, whether it was just like, did he do it himself or did they do this in post? Like, because
he's like, oh man, Kazama, you gotta let me join the family.
Yeah, it's the same guy, obviously, but it's like, it sounds like maybe he inhaled some helium first.
Yeah, he's doing a little baby voice. So Kiryu says, like, don't play the saint, Kazama. You're a Yakuza, so you have no right to tell me what I can and can't do. We look up to you and your car and your suit and all your confidence and the way that people respect you. And then Kiryu says, do orphans not get to dream?
Yeah, he screams that at the
He says, the sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar, Kazama. And then Nishiki says, what you thinking about, Kiryu? Haha. just thinking about you, Kiryu. And he was also Yeah,
Nishiki's also thinking about that day.
They're thinking about the same thing.
Except in Nishiki's head, he beat up Kazama. And
yeah, he's like, yeah, I remember the time I fought Kazama and won. Kiryu, have I ever told you about the time I beat Shaq in a game of basketball, a game of one-on-one, and he cried?
And I said, orphans do get to dream, Kazuma-san.
I said, orphans do get to dunk. So they've arrived at the Dojima headquarters. The guard's like, you got any business with the Dojimas? And Kiryu's like, I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna really just give it to all of them and then resign. So can you let me in? And the guy's just like, yeah, sure. Sounds fun.
Right. I want to be the guy manning the gate at Dojima.
The manning the gate at the Dojima. He probably works for another Yakuza group because of the fact that he just let this guy in and he's like, yeah, I'm about to go beat up everyone in that building.
Or the guy that Kiryu calls on the phone.
Yeah.
Who is literally like his text box names him as like guy on phone duty.
He's on phone duty and he's just like, oh, you're going to come here and beat us all up? All right, we'll get some popcorn going for you. So Kuze Kiryu's like, I gotta go meet with Dojima. I gotta talk to him about Kuze. And the guy's like, all right, we're gonna page you through to Kuze because Dojima's watching his favorite program. He's watching his soaps.
It's Saturday at 8. It's 8 p.m. on a Saturday. The boss is watching his favorite show right now, Kiryu. It's kind of a bad time.
What's Dojima's favorite show? What's he like? What's he watching?
Takeshi's Castle.
He's watching Takeshi's Castle. That makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Unless that was on before 1988, which it could have been. So Kuze looks at Kiryu's hand and says, "Oh, that's really interesting. You still got all your fingers. What's up with that?" And then he gives him the little...
I just want to say Takeshi's Castle premiered in 1986 and ended in 1990, so this is the...
Damn, it makes perfect sense that Dojima was watching Takeshi's Castle. So Kuze gives him baby punch again, and he's just like, "Damn, my punches, they're so weak." Kuze's like, "All right, Kiryu, you got one more chance. You spy on Kazama for me." And Kiryu says, "Sure, why not? I love it. Just kidding." So, then this dude, Yoneda, comes in.
Yoneda's a piece of shit.
Yoneda's a piece of shit, and he's like, "I'm gonna do some twisted stuff to you, Kiryu. Hey, boss, you want me to melt his body in acid?
Hey, Kiryu, you want to see what I can do with this pencil?
Want to see a magic trick, Kiryu?" And then Kuze says, like, "I want a body because I want to leave a message." And then Kiryu says, "Wow, really? You're going to kill a member of the family without your boss's permission?" And then Kuze says, "Are you high?
You're not in the family anymore.
You're not in the family anymore, remember?" He says, "You must have toked on a joint to get stoned, Kiryu, because you're high." And then Kiryu's like, "All right, so you're going against the boss's orders?"
So I'm no longer in the family anymore. Is that right, Mr. Kuze?
I don't know why Kiryu has Urkel voice, but he does in this scene. That's when you're 20, you sound like Urkel, but when you're...
The point of the matter is that Kuze...
Yeah, he's debating semantics with him, basically.
Backhandedly has acknowledged Kiryu's, exile from the family.
Yeah.
So Kiryu is now a civilian, which gives him, the excuse he needs to fight back.
He has diplomatic immunity because the Yakuza don't kill random civilians, I guess.
Except for when they do.
Except for all the times that they do, which isn't important, I guess, in this moment. So he is like, "Well, I guess I'm just gonna fight everyone here," which I think he already knew coming into this situation.
Yeah. Kuze says, "Hey, if you can make it through all of my boys and make it to me, fine, I'll hear you out. But good luck with that."
Time for a big fight. So Kiryu's just in this little office building with a bunch of chairs, and there's just all the guys here, every one of them. We should mention that Kiryu, in the gameplay-wise, can pick up basically anything and just hit people with it. So this is sort of the game's tutorial on how to just you could pick up a chair or a couch and hit a person with an entire goddamn couch in the face.
You can pick up one of those fucking big-ass marble tables and hit them with it. You
can pick up basically anything.
Yeah.
And dual-wield it and just destroy people with it.
Yeah, so you get a big room and a lot of men...
And a lot of toys.
A lot of sofas to swing at them. This is our first, long battle, which, these are always some of my favorite parts.
I love these parts.
Yeah, because you just get to beat up, a ton of goons, which
it's basically, room after room after room of dudes and unique combinations with different weapons and stuff. Sometimes they have guns.
Sometimes there's, a mini-boss.
Yeah, Yoneda's the mini-boss in this part. So he comes out, he says, "Why so serious?" And you have to fight him 4 times or whatever.
Yeah.
Every time you beat him... By the way, this is a great Yakuza classic. The way that they, load room to room is they play a little cutscene where Kiryu, throws the person through the door.
They've got a couple of different animations for it, yeah.
It's great. There's a part in this section where Kiryu is on a fire escape, and he's like, I don't know, the door's locked. So he's just like, guess I'll jump through that window across the way.
At an angle.
Angle. It makes no logical sense how he did that, even.
You do a quick time event. Do you even do a quick time event? I don't remember.
No, I think he just does it.
I think he just does it because I don't think there's a fail state for this. Where he jumps at a 45-degree angle at a window. That doesn't look that big, but is actually much bigger once you get to it. I guess that's all foreshortening and all that. But and he just nails it perfectly.
It really makes no sense. I don't even think they show the action of him going through the window. I think it just shows him jumping.
No, they show him bursting through the window.
No, but they don't show the maneuver from the outside. So you see the dudes in the bathroom where he breaks through washing their hands and using the toilet, and then Kiryu just bursts through the window, and that's just now a deep fear of mine. What if I'm in the bathroom and Kiryu Kazama bursts through the window and he starts shit with me.
Well, I mean, just don't be in, a Yakuza family HQ at the time. You should be fine.
Ever.
ever. I mean, yeah, just don't do that in general. But
I guess the moral of the story is don't join the Yakuza. So,
yeah.
So, once again, Yoneda shows up. Kiryu, important detail, Kiryu has never killed anyone.
Kiryu's never killed anyone.
He
also,
does...
Yoneda's been showing up throughout the thing, like, just as a quick time event. You don't even fight him. He's just like a quick time event. Like, well, he'll sneak up behind you and swing an ashtray at you, and then you just, like, punch his face in and
Man, imagine how
off.
embarrassing that must be if you're a Yakuza and you don't even get to be a mini-boss, you're just a quick time event.
Yeah, but this time you actually fight him, and he has a knife. So this is like your tutorial on fighting enemies with knives, or like weapons.
Rush Style will take care of that shit for you.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, weapons are a lot harder to block, and in fact, like, guns and blades, you can't block at all unless you have a weapon of your own. So you need to, like, either use weapons that you can block with, or dodge around.
Always dodge, never block.
Yeah, if you get hit with this knife, you
fall over.
You take damage, and a lot of the time you'll fall over.
It's a thing you get used to in this series. It's just Kiryu getting knocked down a bunch. It's pretty annoying. So Kiryu's never killed anyone, but when he wins the fight, he does shove Yoneda's face in a toilet and then kick him out of a fourth-story window.
He shoves Yoneda's face into a urinal and fucking shatters the urinal. Yeah,
and then throws him out of a multi-story window.
He throws him up against, like, the window and then fucking drop kicks him out of it. It rules.
It's good. And then as Yoneda's falling, he's like, "It's good that they set up one of those Hollywood landing pads outside this window because I'm definitely not dead."
He landed in a pile of very soft trash.
He landed in a pile of other Yakuza that Kiryu had already beaten up, and they're all fine.
Yeah, because there is of course a heat action for throwing men out of windows. So I had already thrown, like, 2 or 3 guys out.
Yeah, and they landed on the soft trash, and then Yoneda landed on their very soft but still alive bodies, because Kiryu has never killed anyone.
And will never kill a man.
He will never kill a man. We're going to continue to insist this. Don't worry about it. He's fine.
He's fine.
So Kiryu makes it.
This ends the long battle.
Yeah, we're now, like, in this, like, cool, like, Japanese style room. It's got the tatamis and the sliding paper doors or whatever. And Kuze's there. He's shirtless, and you can already see his health bar. And he's just like, "Wow, Kiryu, if I was still a boxer, I would be your promoter because you know how to throw a punch." And he says, "Hey, boy!" This is my new conspiracy theory, that Kuze was Bacchus the whole time.
Or maybe Bacchus was his promoter.
That's true, maybe. So, he says, "Talk before I break your jaw." And then he rips his shirt off.
Yeah, in the one time in this entire series where it makes sense, because he already has his jacket around his shoulders.
Yeah. He's not shirtless. So in this series, you will go from full suit to shirtless in one swoop.
Or full suit to wetsuit, strangely enough.
And that happens too. That happens too. So this is the first dramatic disrobing of the series, and it's time to fight Kuze, which is fun. I like this fight a lot.
Kiryu does not take off his shirt.
That's weird, though. Kiryu usually takes off his shirt.
Yeah, usually if one guy takes off his shirt, the other guy does too. Just standard procedure.
When I played this game the first time, Kuze's fight was pretty tricky. I didn't have enough healing items, and he hits really hard and pretty fast. So this is like your first sort of challenge of the game. Having played, 8 of these or whatever, this was one of.
And also being on New Game.
Oh yeah,
Plus,
we're on New Game. We should have said that.
We're
playing on New Game Plus because we've both already beaten the game, and it just makes it easier to not have to worry about money and leveling up your combat ability. So I basically have all of the skills already.
All of the skills, and also these games, strangely, like, most of the other games don't have this. You do upgrade your attack damage as you like level up. So, like, you're actually knocking dudes out a lot faster than you would be otherwise, like, if you had started a new game.
I am playing on hard mode, though, just to give it a little extra. But
yeah,
Kiryu beats Kuze, and
without even taking his shirt off.
No, he hasn't even broken a sweat. And before anything else can happen, Owano and Shibusawa are here. Kuze's like, "Help me out, boys!" And then, which, by the way, Kiryu is fully ready and willing to fight Kuze, Owano, and Shibusawa at the exact same time.
Yeah.
But they're not going to help him, and before anything else happens, the chairman, the boss, comes in. Sohei Dojima.
Sohei Dojima.
Misspelled it. Oops.
Patriarch of the Dojima family, a Tojo clan subsidiary.
He's the big cheese. He's wearing his robe, and he's mad that he had to stop watching Takeshi's Castle. He's like, I was just watching my show. I'm
watching my show, wearing my robes, as I always do when I watch my show.
He's like, Kuze, you asked for help, and oh wait, yeah, he's pissed that Kuze asked for help, and he's like, Kazama, Kuze, and Kuze fucking hates that. Then he's just like, hey, Kiryu, I learned you wasted the guy on a collection run like a fucking idiot. And Kiryu's like, I didn't kill him at all, I promise.
Yeah, whatever, kid.
Yeah, whatever, kid. And Kuze says, like, I'll kill you. And then Doji was like, hey, did you just, are you going to murder this civilian, without my permission? How dare you? And then Awano, I love this. Awano and Shibusawa are like...
Awano and Shibusawa, they're such big pieces of shit.
They're such shitheads. They're like...
Everyone heard it, dude. Everyone heard it.
Shibusawa pulls out his fucking voice recorder and is like, got the Kuze like, I'll kill a civilian.
I got the receipts, fam. Kuze's canceled.
He's like, wow, Kuze, you really did just threaten to kill a civilian. What a piece of shit you are. And then...
I don't know about this one, Kuze.
I don't know. This ain't it, Chief. You did just threaten to kill a civilian. That's really funny. We're not all on the same side, you and I. And then Awano, pulls out a wooden board and a big knife. Oh no.
Just keep this on me.
Just keep this. Just in case I have to have one of my family members chop their pinky off. Kuze makes Kuze has the face of, this is not my day, but whatever.
Yeah, he's pissed, but...
Yeah, he's pissed, and he's just like, I can't believe you've owned... He says, oh, fuck, I can't believe you've done this. And then Shibusawa's like, as head of your clan, you always say that you love accountability. That's your
you're all about
catchphrase.
this accountability
You're
shit,
all
bro.
about this accountability shit, so you gotta pay back what you've done. I really gotta hand it to you, Kuze. You're really the accountability guy. Just take this and, you know what you gotta do with this. And then,
he does. He does know what he's got to do.
Dude,
I'll
give a shout out to Kuze for just chopping his finger off without even really...
Yeah, he fucking does it.
Yeah, you gotta hand it to him. Under no circumstances should you hand it to Kuze, but I will hand it to Kuze.
Yeah, we don't actually see it, but you hear a fucking crunch.
You hear the crunch, and does he even scream? I feel like he just does it.
He's screaming the whole time, but he's doing that before
but
he
he's
even
screaming.
cuts it off.
But he's screaming in like a I'm about to do a big action moment.
Yeah, he's screaming like, hey, pay attention to this, you shit.
Hey, watch this.
Check this shit out. I bet you can't do this on concrete.
You can't do this on concrete. You got to do it on wood because So chops off his finger. One of the few times we actually see this in the games. And then Kiryu, he says, "Okay, you're expelled." And Kiryu does his big I appreciate you bow, and he's gonna go prove his innocence now.
Dojima's like, yeah, I'm going to uphold Kuze's expulsion. You're out of the family. Go enjoy your life as a civilian. Get yourself a nice little job and enjoy yourself a nice little life.
Go drive yourself a taxi.
But also Kazuma's fucking out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Goodbye. Bye. You know how this game is called Yakuza 0? It's really funny that you don't play as a Yakuza in this game. That's actually, they call it Yakuza 0 because that's how many Yakuza you play. It's Yakuza 0. None.
Yeah, that's the quantity of Yakuza.
It's the quantity of Yakuza that Kiryu is. 0.
Yeah.
So, Dojima's gonna eat with his boys. And before he leaves, Kiryu's
I can't wait until they invent DVR so I can record Takeshi's Castle and watch it anytime.
I wish they had Netflix back in 1988. So, Dojima, Kiryu's like, Dojima, and then Dojima says, How do you plan on taking responsibility, Kiryu? And then Kiryu says he's gonna catch the guy who did this to him. And he says, don't bother. And Shibusawa says, we love our cops, and the cops are gonna take care of it. You're a civilian now. Don't worry about taking responsibility because it's not your job. And also, by the way, accountability still falls on Kazama even though you resigned. That didn't change anything. Goodbye.
Bye.
Kiryu's totally just got owned there. And Dojima says that he will never be a Yakuza ever again. There's no coming back after you've resigned or beaten up all of these dudes. Goodbye forever. and then now we're
You'll
outside,
never get away with beating up an entire Yakuza family and being expelled.
Yeah, you'll never. There's no going back. So, yeah, that's it.
Can't do that twice.
It's Chapter 1, and Kiryu is no longer in the Yakuza. Great,
Damn.
Good for him.
Anyways, it's 11:28 p.m.
Yeah, Takeshi's Castle is off the air. It's no longer on. Some other show's on. Kiryu is outside in the rain because it's sad and themes. And he, like, collapses on the ground and he says, "What am I fighting for?" And then what happens, Argyle?
A mysterious man in expensive-looking clothes walks up and offers his hand to Kiryu.
Hey, boy!
Wait, wrong dude.
Yeah, wrong guy. Different guy. A guy wearing leather gloves and an expensive suit. He offers his hand to Kiryu. His name is Tachibana, and he asks for a moment of Kiryu's time. And that's the end of Chapter 1.
Hell yeah. I wonder what that's about. This is good. Good intro.
This is a good chapter.
I like the establishing shots of Kamurocho. We didn't really talk about it. This game is pretty crazy in terms of Kamurocho, because this is kind of a version of the city we never get to see, in that it's just so dirty comparatively. It's so covered in trash, and everything's on fire, and there's just drunk people laying in the street. It's so grimy. I love it. Because I mean, it's based on a real place. It's based on the Kabukicho in Japan, and currently, if you go to that place, I mean, it has like a reputation, but it is also mostly a pretty safe place now. So once you play the more modern games, the city is very clean and pristine, and then you go back and it's like, this is like Fist of the North Star version of Kamurocho.
Yeah, there's guys wearing leather riding. There's guys wearing leather riding motorcycles, stealing like little children.
Hey, boy! Give me your car!
Why is Bacchus riding the motorcycle? What is he doing here?
He's got a lot going on.
He's a man of many
talents. Do you
talents.
think that Bacchus is going to teach Kiryu how to kill a person in one punch? If you, like, fully train with Bacchus, Kiryu would be able to, like, make a guy explode 10 seconds after punching him.
Possibly.
But,
yeah, I cut you off, but we will be playing the Fist of the North Star spin-off game.
We sure will, which is funny because I know nothing about that series.
Yeah, Jordan has never played it. I've played it. And I
Did you have a little cheeky educational segment to
Yeah, this is something we'd like to do from time to time. Not every episode necessarily, but we want to do like kind of a segment where we kind of explain some of the elements of the games, because they're
very Japanese.
Yeah, I guess is one way of putting it. So, like, there's a lot of things that might require more contextualizing for us gaijin.
Or it's just for fun.
Yeah, or just for fun. So, as the first episode, we're going to just kind of talk about the Yakuza.
In general. Alright, and we're back. We've taken a short break, and we're going to be doing a segment that we're tentatively titling Essence of Education, where we elaborate on topics that maybe need a little more explanation from the episode.
Yeah.
For our first foray, we're going to just be discussing the Yakuza themselves. Where they come from, how did they go, where did they come from, Cotton Eye Joe? So, back in Edo, in the early 1700s, there were two groups that were instrumental in the founding of the Yakuza. They were the Tekiya and the Bakuto. So the Tekiya were like peddlers and swindlers, and they started organizing into criminal clans. They would go to Shinto festivals, and they would sell stuff, and they'd also offer stalls protection in exchange for cash. Sound familiar? It should. It's like what organized crime does. They had it back then, too. And through the Tekiya, we can see some of the traditions that are fundamental to the Yakuza, such as the power structure of Oyabun and Kobun. Oyabun meaning the parent status of the bosses, while their underlings were given the status of Kobun, meaning child status. The Oyabun were often given a surname and a sword, which basically put them at the level of a samurai. So it was like they were sort of appropriating samurai culture for what is essentially a criminal enterprise. And we can see through the titles that, and even today, that the role of the patriarch of a Yakuza clan is likened to that of a parent. So, like, what'll happen is, as if in a family, a child has to answer to the parent. However, the parent is also responsible for the child, which is why we can see in the chapter we discussed, Kiryu, you can view Kazama as his Oyabun. So even though Kiryu is the one who allegedly made the mistake, Kazama still has to pay for it because he's responsible for Kiryu. Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, let's talk about the Bakuto now. So the Bakuto were the gamblers of the Yakuza world. They're the gambling roots. Gambling has been outlawed in Japan since Edo in the 1700s, 1600s, so it's never been legal. That's why nowadays you'll see stuff like pachinko and video pachinko and whatever, because it's not actually technically gambling. So the Bakuto would wander around. They would engage people in dice and cards, games like, CeeLo, or you can play all of these games in Yakuza, by the way.
Yeah.
And they all are really hard to understand. There's a game called Oichikabu, which is played with something called the Hanafuda deck of cards. Now, the Oichikabu is kind of like Baccarat or Blackjack, where you want your cards to add up to a certain number, mainly 9. So in this game, not without explaining the rules, the worst possible hand you can play that adds up to a score of 0 is 892, which is translated to Yakuza in the cards.
I think it's 893, isn't it?
You were correct. So 893 is the worst possible hand in Oichikabu, and Yakuza means like a gambling loser who never wins. Bakuto gamblers also had the origin in the practice of adorning their bodies in colorful tattoos, which is another tradition that we can see among the Yakuza today, including the iconic tattoos of Kiryu Kazama and friends.
Which we haven't seen yet.
We haven't seen them yet. We've just seen Kuze's tattoo, but they've all got them, and we love them. So the contemporary Yakuza, they are close to their roots. They practice these traditions. And just like the Tekiya and the Bakuto, they run gambling rings, they run protection rackets, and they peddle things like drugs and weapons.
And humans.
And humans, yeah, that too. It sucks. They love to do that. So they cover their bodies in tattoos, and something I forgot to mention about the Tekiya is that when a Kobun failed a Oyabun, they would sever their pinky finger as punishment. This harkens back to the samurai sword, the katana, because you need your pinky finger as an integral part of your grip. So if you cut off your finger, you basically can't hold your sword anymore. Unless you're Jaime Lannister, and then it would make you really good at it, actually. Sorry, I just can never get over that.
You're really nerfing yourself.
I know, seriously. The Yakuza have a racist and ultranationalist ideology.
Oops.
And currently the Yakuza maintain very close ties to the Japanese far right. So you hate to see it, folks. This is just video games. This is just for fun.
I mean, look, it's like they say, sometimes criminals make the best patriots.
Sometimes oh my god. Kiryu Kazama, from the text, by the way, is not a far-right ultranationalist, just so you know.
Yeah,
there's textual evidence. We'll get to it.
There's one single text box out of like 7 games of Kiryu that we've used to ascertain that he's not
a conservative.
Yeah.
Kiryu is a leftist. This is fun video game Yakuza, not real Yakuza. Once again, cannot make this distinction enough. So despite their long-standing history of human trafficking, political corruption, and open gang warfare that has led to numerous civilian casualties, the Yakuza strive to obtain and uphold a certain image of a sort of cleaner and respectable organized crime. During times of crisis, the Yakuza have been known to offer aid and supplies, like during the 2011 Tohoku earthquake or the Kobe earthquake in the 90s. The Yakuza, as a whole, are often viewed as like a necessary evil by wider society, who keep crime sort of above the board. And that goes as far as the police knowing about the locations of Yakuza hideouts and sometimes even working with Yakuza. The Yakuza have also been known to infiltrate the Japanese political system, which is kind of interesting. because of their aid efforts and what people believe to be sort of their cleaner side of crime, Japanese media has a habit of idolizing the Yakuza through movies and TV shows, and yes, even video games. Because of this, the Japanese law enforcement has gone through efforts to rebrand the Yakuza as a Boryokudan, which means violent group, to basically tell everyone, hey, don't like these guys. They do human trafficking. Of course.
Yeah, and certain groups will be designated as Boryokudan, and they'll get cracked down on harder than, ones that might not kick up as much dust.
The wonderful police officers around the world do selectively crack down on organized crime.
Yeah.
They say, oh, this group, well, they're
they don't cause as much trouble.
They're fine. So in that vein, we've seen considerable crackdowns on Yakuza groups, reducing the numbers from the peak of 180,000 in the 1960s to less than 80,000 today. Some of the biggest groups of the Yakuza include the Kobe-based Yamaguchi-gumi, who've seen considerable crackdowns. So their power has been dwindling in recent years, but the Yakuza continue to remain an ever-present part of Japanese society. That's all I have to say about them. If you have anything to add, because I know you did some research of your own, feel free to add it now.
I didn't really get anything that I want to add on top of all of that.
That's fine.
You did a good job summing up what I wanted to get to.
Good.
So,
hey, I hope we've all learned something. Yakuza bad. Cops also bad.
Fictional Yakuza.
Fictional
Yakuza. All right.
You gotta hand it to him.
And fictional cops, they can be okay too.
No.
I guess. No.
Dick Gumshoe is the only good fictional cop.
He's a detective. It's different.
Detectives are cops.
No, they're not. They're detectives. That's why they're called
Gumshoe.
Detectives and not cops.
Well, we'll talk more about cops when we meet what's his name? I can't think of his name.
In every game.
Date. Yeah, we'll talk more about cops when we meet Date. So that's our educational segment, and that's also the episode. Thank you for listening to our very first Like a Podcast, aka Podcast Ga Gotoku episode. Would you like to plug some stuff?
I'm Argyle. You can find me on Twitter at Argyle_funk. You can also listen to my other podcast, Pod of Greed, which is about Yu-Gi-Oh!
You can find I'm Jordan Bradipus Rex on Twitter. You can listen to my other podcast, Jergin It, which I do with my brother. We've just finished watching The Secret Life of the American Teenager, but we're going to be doing a couple other things before we end the show for good. You can find our podcast at likeapodcast.libsyn.com. And you can find us on Twitter at twitter.com/podcast Ga Gotoku. That's podcast GAGOTOKU. That was the best. That we couldn't get Like a Podcast. It was taken, so we had to go with the Japanese.
What about our Discord?
Yeah, we have a Discord server. We're going to put the link in the bottom of every episode so you can click on it, engage with us, talk about the brand, maybe talk about our ad revenue that we're going to be making. Just kidding. And,
I said that I didn't want to do ads on Pot of Greed, but I'm thinking new project, new me. We're gonna
become shills.
We're gonna do live reads.
Hey Argyle, when you need an energy boost, do you reach for a delicious Tauriner?
Yes.
I love to crack open my own favorite bottle of Staminum Plus, and I wash it down with a delicious Boss coffee. One of those is real.
Sometimes I like to get a nice Toughness Emperor if I'm really feeling spicy.
After I work out at my Rise-Up gym, I love to drink a delicious Staminum Royale to fill me with energy and heat.
If you're looking for good sushi at a not so exorbitant price, you should go to Sushi Zanmai, founded by a very talented tuna fisherman. Sushi Zanmai, good sushi, great prices, fun for the whole family.
Fun for the whole family. Love it. All right, that's it. And as always, Kiwami means extreme.
Bye.
Bye.
For breaking the law, breaking the world, 壊せ切り裂けてんだね For breaking the rules ちも